A little boy was yanked from his bed in the middle of the night, only to be wrapped in a blanket and thrown in the back of a truck. The boy's father is on the run from the Colombian cartel, of which he owes a lot of money. Carlos Ruiz is an illegal immigrant living here in the United States, but he did not know this fact until he was a senior in high school. Carlos was brought to the United States by his parents when he was less than a year old. He has gone through high school with a 4.0 GPA and has held a part-time job at a gas station since he was 14. His plan after high school is to enlist in the United States Marine Corps. Unfortunately for Carlos, he is open to deportation and may not be able to fulfill these dreams. Is this really the type of person we, as Americans, want to alienate and deport? Illegal immigrants like Carlos are completely vital to the United States and are a special case because they are here through no fault of their own. The government should grant most illegal residents permanent residence. First, let me tell you how these illegal immigrants are here in the United States through no fault of their own. According to Mrs. Elena Regades, an assistant psychology professor at the Los Angeles Harbor College, author of the article, Illegal Yes, Unneeded No, many of these undocumented immigrants in this country were brought here as young children. Mrs. Regades has come across this more than most people because students come to her when they find out their illegal status, and they do not know that they are illegal until high school or sometimes, in special cases, much later. Most of these students have been culturally raised as Americans. Some do not know their native language or their native culture, or if they do, they are many times bilingual. Mr. Mike LaPaula, a former Assistant Chief Counsel for the United States Immigration and Naturalization Service and United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, author of Dream a Little Dream, a solution to U.S. illegal immigration that is fair to all. All Americans are called to compassion for young undocumented immigrants who, present in the United States through no fault of their own, are culturally Americans. These people were raised to think that they are Americans, not that they were anything else. There would be no harm in giving these people documentation, because as soon as they commit a crime, they could be deported. There are young people who just want to go to college and better themselves. They are not hurting anyone by going to college. In a nutshell, these young illegal immigrants were brought here without their consent. Therefore, it's not their fault that they are here in the United States. Next, I'm going to tell you how these illegal immigrants are vital to the United States. Lourdes Medrano, an author of As Tide of Illegal Immigrants Head Home, Will the U.S. Economy Suffer?, is a reporter taking statements from an economist and a Georgia farmer. 75% of agricultural workforce is illegal, and that will be a problem when these immigrants are deported, or they're just perhaps leaving the country. A prime example of just how vital these immigrants are to the agricultural industry is due to the loss of farm labor. The Georgia state economy took a $391 million hit. The farmers are being forced to downsize their farms and experience near-term crop losses because of this shortage in labor. Rommel Hernandez, author of the journal Immigration from South America. This illegal immigrant gave the ultimate sacrifice for his citizenship. Jose Antonio Gutierrez was granted a U.S. citizenship, but he would never be able to enjoy the benefits of this citizenship. He was granted his citizenship 2 weeks after he was killed for our country, fighting in the Marine Corps overseas in Iraq. Jose was living in this country illegally and going to college, but decided to put his education on hold in order to fight for the United States. It was said he was motivated to give something back to his adopted land. Illegal immigrants are vital to the United States and should be able to stay, whether this is because they are studying or fighting for our country. Lastly, I would like to tell you about the opportunities that illegal immigrants have and need to take. Mr. Mike LaPaula, a former Assistant Chief Counsel for the United States Immigration and Naturalization Service and United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, author of Dream a Little Dream, a solution to U.S. illegal immigration that is fair to all. The DREAM Act is now dead, but is on the table to come back. If illegal immigrants would apply for these programs, most of their problems would be solved. They would be able to get residence, a green card, social security card, and be legal to actually be in this country. Many of these immigrants are afraid to come out and apply for these programs and say that they are legal, but they fear that it's just a scam and they'll be deported. This would not cause any problems with the citizens if the illegal immigrants were to apply for these programs, because they would not become, the illegal immigrants would not become actual U.S. citizens, they would just be permanent residents. And that is a big difference because they would not be able to vote and they would not be able to run for any type of public office. Rommel Hernandez, author of a journal, Immigration from South America, wrote that after the incident with Jose Antonio Gutierrez, the United States government decided to reform the policies of which qualifies a person as a United States resident. Any illegal immigrant that is willing to put their lives on the line for the country of the United States is automatically considered a United States resident. If illegal immigrants really want to stay in the United States, they just need to serve one enlistment term in the United States military. The opportunities for the illegal immigrants are out there. It's just whether or not that they decide to take these opportunities to become legal residents. Those are the main reasons that illegal immigrants should be granted legal status here in the United States of America. I hope that after hearing the reasons on why illegal immigrants should be able to stay in the United States, you think the same way that I do. These people deserve to stay in this great country and live the American dream just like you and I. This country was built by immigrants, for immigrants, and it should stay that way all through time. Remember the three reasons I gave you. Number one, most illegal immigrants are here through no fault of their own. Number two, illegal immigrants are vital to the United States. And number three, the opportunities needing to be taken by the illegal immigrants. Overall, the government should grant most illegal residents permanent residence.